So if you are planning to step on stage, save this video as a constant reminder of what you need to focus on now to ensure you are absolutely going to obliterate your competitors. So it's a time of year where there are no competitions in the near future. Calorie intake is almost certainly going to increase, intentionally or not, which means it is prime time to be focusing on growth. How you conduct yourself in the next few months will play a large role in how you will look next time you get on stage. So the question always comes up, do I need to bulk? And the answer is, inevitably, yes you do. Even though we have proved in the right circumstances, it is possible to grow muscle at maintenance, and even in a slight deficit. It is not optimal. And as we deal with women in the top 0.001% of the population who are wanting to gain that edge on the competitors, optimal is where we need to be. Now, there are ways of bulking I would advise, and there are ways I certainly would not advise. So let me break them down. So a bulk is essentially where you are consistently eating in a calorie surplus to optimize muscle gain. What often gets lost in translation with competitors is what constitutes a bulk. You've all heard of dirty bulks, right? Which is essentially ensuring you are in a calorie surplus and hitting your protein intake without any real concern over food choices. There is also a clean bulk, also known as a lean bulk, still maintaining calorie surplus, but tracking calories and protein to minimize fat gain, and also opting for cleaner, healthier food choices. I think we can all agree the dirty bulk is just garbage, right? Literally. But I would like to introduce a third option, the Flexi bulk. This is where you basically maintain your calorie surplus consistently. You opt for high quality foods the majority of the time, as you know they will not only make you feel a lot better, but they will also promote better energy, better health, better sleep, and better recovery, which will in turn boost training intensity and consistency. Post-competition is a very challenging time for some competitors, especially new competitors who have just done their first show. It's a tirade of emotional ups and downs, whilst they manage the balance between having to increase calories, losing their stage conditioning, often struggling with their relationship with food and binge eating, not having an imminent goal, feeling self-conscious when stepping foot back in the gym because they've gained a couple of kilograms since their last show. All of these things, hitting them at once is tough. So let's lay out some facts. You will need to maintain a consistent calorie surplus if you want to optimize growth. You will need to track your calories and protein, just as you did in peak prep. If you don't, you will most likely overconsume, leading to unnecessary fat gain. Or you will think you're overconsuming because of the new flexibility you have, but are in fact unintentionally underconsuming on total calories, therefore not optimizing your chances of growth. Your training structure, intensity, and progressions will have to be even more dialed in than in peak prep. Training metrics and variables become a lot more scientific during the growth phase. Now, this isn't always the case, but the main goal in peak prep is just to maintain a relative training volume to enable you to hold on to your hard-earned muscle mass. You should include cardio in your bulk. Now, yes, cardio costs calories, but in the grand scheme of things, the benefits of adding cardio in a bulk far outweigh the 2 to 3% extra calories you'll need to consume to counter the energy expended. 20 to 30 minutes, 2 to 3 times a week will suffice to maintain a relative level of cardio fitness and keep your heart and respiratory system nice and healthy. Now, how much muscle can you expect to gain in a bulk? Well, if you're gaining too quickly, the majority of that weight will be fat. So fit girl Jenny, who's getting pumped about her 2 pounds per week increase on the scale and 1 centimeter growth in her hips, I'm afraid, Jenny, the majority of that will be body fat. Some metrics. Beginners can expect to gain around about 1 to 2% of their body weight per month. That's the general consensus. For intermediate to advanced athletes, it's half that, at around about 0.5 to 1% of your total body weight per month. A 5 to 10% calorie surplus is best. Like always, track your metrics and adjust accordingly. Now, in terms of macros, well, you have quite a bit of flexibility here, but I'll give you the minimum requirements. 0.8 to 1.2 grams of protein per pound of body weight is my recommended minimum. If you want to go a little bit higher, no problem at all. When it comes to carbs and fats, you should aim for between 20 to 30% of your total calories coming from fat. And then whatever is left over, that's your carbs, my friend. You're welcome to take fats a little bit higher, but remember that when in a calorie surplus, it is easier for the body to store fat as body fat, as fat is already fat, whereas carbs have to go through a more laborious process to become fat. I will go into more detail on training progressions during a bulk in a video a bit later, but for now, if you like this video, please make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I just want to leave you with a piece of advice. A lot of people slack off in their training during their bulk due to a few factors like lacking motivation from poor body image, not having a clear enough goal, and not having their training structured optimally. Don't be that girl. As I said at the start, the work you put in here will be the very determinant of how you will look next time you get on stage. Anyway, happy hunting, ladies. You are more than welcome.